What are we doing today?
Today we're gonna not try to die.
Be nice.
We might die.
วันนี้นะคะเราจะพาทุกคนมาที่ทานน้ำแข็งของอลาสก้า
Come on in, we'll get some spikes on.
นี่ค่ะเราก็ต้องมาใส่เขาเรียกว่าเอาไว้เบิร์นบนน้ำแข็ง
So the way these work is your toe goes in here, like that.
Is everything okay?
The snow machine to bring back, and it's like, how do you get the fox, the hen, and the seed all across the river at the same time?
โอเค ตอนนี้นะคะเราจะออกไป It's gonna be a little cozy. Yeah. Super sandwich? Alright. We go really slow. Hold on. And take off.
And you want to you can stomp your feet. So you can stomp around on this stuff. That helps not slide. When you step onto this stuff, just expect it to be slippery. It's like 30 below when this ice was formed, so we call it super cooling. And it's basically like flash frozen ice. And so when that stuff goes to melt, it melts like styrofoam because of those bubbles being really long. It makes like really long crystal shards. And they don't snap in half, they just kind of crush into like styrofoam. So when this stuff starts to break up, you go to step off the glacier ice into the lake ice, and you just sink down into it like a box of styrofoam. And the more you move around, the more you go down. So you end up having to kind of swim out of it. But it doesn't break like lake ice, because it's been super cool. So we'll go.
Have you ever experienced an earthquake while being out here?
Yep. And the ice just kind of heaves and hoes. This stuff up here, it falls and cracks, but everything like in front of us, it just kind of heaves and hoes. This lake, though, is very unstable in an earthquake. I would run over to the glacier. What's above? You can go up here on top of the hill and take some photos, or right here. These big black lines that are in it is where gravel has ran into cracks and then it's refrozen inside of it. That's kind of what it looks like under the glacier, and on the sides we'll see some more ice that's all black, and we call that basalite. part of how it looks when the water flows through the ice. It starts into a little crack, and then the way water works, it just goes into a circular motion and it forms perfectly round holes into the ice.
Yeah, that's...
Like all these crazy features on this slide. It's all been really smoothed off just by the wind action this winter. When the temperature and the sun hits us again, it'll look all jagged and sharp again. But as we go through here, it's super smooth and really cool. It's almost like a massage. On out, it was never bent like plastic. Now that it's winter time and it's still kind of falling into the lake, you can see the big cracks behind. Those have been slowly happening in the winter time. This is kind of the formation, what happens in the summer. This stuff's nice and warm and it's like gooey and it'll just slowly bend apart like plastic. You can also see here where the oxygen's getting introduced back into the ice and it looks like little worms or little bubbles in there. Glacier ice is just compacted snow, so this is just like a bunch of puzzle pieces pressed together. And as the oxygen gets reintroduced to it, it finds in between those puzzle pieces first, and then it reoxygenates the whole puzzle piece itself. So this has been totally reoxygenated. This is just now starting to accept oxygen. So it's kind of cool that as this stuff gets unweighted, that's how it gets oxygen back into it, and you get the different colors.
ชอบมากทุกคน
Now I was wondering if you could. As they get here, this pressure ridge, this is still just the lake ice. That's about 40 feet tall. That's about as big as they get. And then they start collapsing and crumbling. But it's a pretty cool little feature. We're going to go around behind this.
Yeah.
And then this big mountain up here on the skyline, that's called Mount Wickersham. That's about 8,000 feet. This glacier starts 5,000 feet taller than that. So that's how high up. Like if you look way back there, that's 10,000 feet. This glacier starts at 13,000. Here we go! Yeah! The ice will lift up and give us something totally new that we never even saw all summer long. It's always on the move, giving us something new. Just to the end of the trail here. This is a big water moulin, but the floor's been all cracked open in it, so it'll go keep.
I want to get in there. Okay, let's get up.
You gotta touch it all.
Look at that, so tall.
Yeah.
I heard a crack right at the very beginning.
Yeah, this is it's really weird. You'd think with it being warm now, well, because it was 30 below, so this is warm, that it would be moving. It's actually kind of just quieted down.
Huh.
It was moving a lot more when it was a lot colder.
Yeah.
And that's phenomenon of the glacier. We still can't figure it out why. the ice right on top doesn't have the silt mixed in with it. It's the same ice, it just hasn't gotten the layers in it yet. This is something cool I noticed the other day, still here. But when you wipe the lines away, you see the silt mixed in there. When the sun hits this again, those lines will come back. That's this crazy property of this basal ice, that it retains its original composition. And the guys that make plastic would love to know how that does that, but they can't. We have to do a little bit of backtracking here. There's a large chunk of ice that's teetering on this old trail over here. So we'll do a little bit of backtracking and then head around. Bunch of the little bells. As it gets, this one got lifted up pretty rapidly, so you can see all the little pieces hanging off of it. And then the wind will start eroding that thing totally flat like the other pieces. But when they first get lifted up out, they have all the little pieces hanging off of them. The glacier now, this is where we get a lot of down glacier breeze and wind, and so it erodes this stuff really cool. Every time it hits an air pocket, it'll make like a little round formation. So as we go up through this, you'll see some really cool formations. The face is really supported by mud.
Yeah, that's cool.
Barely hanging on. Or like staying right here, looks like a chandelier. This one we call the Black Cave. You can go, it's another in and out, so you can come on up and take a look at it. And it's the white basal ice that you can see really far into. It has the arched roofway from the old Moulin, the water channel. And it goes in about, 40, 50 feet. So you can go in, take photos. And
I don't want to get it.
We got a lot of pictures.
I just get video. It's all beautiful. Just take a video.
The floor is frozen water, but it still goes down. I don't know.
Now this looks like a bathroom. She based her